Lubbock Cooper Middle School, 7th grade Science, Fall Semester Final, 2016-2017. Question number 1. Which of these is an example of an unsafe practice in a lab? A. Testing a substance by tasting it. B. Watering a plant without wearing gloves. C. Detecting an odor by moving air toward you with your hand. D. Pulling your hair into a ponytail when working with fire. 2. A student pours hot chocolate into 2 mugs made of different materials. The student notices that one mug keeps hot chocolate warmer than the other mug and plans an experiment based on his observations. Which of the following questions should the student ask when designing the experiment? F. What's the best temperature to drink hot chocolate? G. What brand of hot chocolate stays warm the longest? H. What type of mug material is the best for keeping warm liquids warm? J. What brand of mug will hold the greatest volume of hot chocolate? 3. Living things are made up of cells. Cells are organized at different levels to form very complex living organisms like your body. Each level has a specific role or job to perform. Which of the following list these levels in the correct order of organization from the simplest to the most complex? A. Cells, tissues, organs, organ systems, organisms. B. Organisms, organ systems, organs, tissues, cells. C. Tissues, cells, organs, organisms, organ systems. D. Organs, organ systems, organisms, cells, tissues. 4. What type of organisms have cells with very large vacuoles? F. Animals. G. Bacteria. H. Fungi. J. Plants. 5. All living things, plant or animal, have one thing in common. Which of the following is the common thing? A. They all have cells that are held up by cell walls. B. They all have the same way to get water and food into their cells. C. They all have cells. D. They all have special cells that can do many different things. 6. In all living things, the presence of what structure supports the cell theory? F. A cell wall. G. Cell membrane. H. Vacuole. J. Chloroplast. Use the following illustration to answer question 7. You have a parent cell, offspring cell A, offspring cell B. The diagram illustrates cells found in the stomach. Which statement about the cells is correct? A. The stomach acid destroyed the genetic information in the parent cell, but left the offspring cells undamaged. B. Cells in the stomach lining reproduce slowly due to the damaging effects of stomach acid. C. Cell A contains exactly the same genetic information as cell B. D. Cell A has different genetic information than cell B. 8. How do gills of fish help their survival? F. Gills allow fish to break down water into oxygen and hydrogen. G. Gills allow fish to process energy quicker so they can move faster. H. Gills allow fish to breathe in air and water. J. Gills allow fish to use the oxygen dissolved in the water. Use the following diagram for the next question. This diagram illustrates a vital process that occurs in the human body. Tissue, CO2, alveoli, O2. Number 9. What is the major role of red blood cells in the circulatory system? A. Carry nutrients and oxygen to body cells. B. Prevent disease and fight infections. C. Carry digestive juices to the stomach. D. Send chemical messages to the nervous system. 10. Which statement best describes the function of this human body system? F. Breaks down food into nutrients and waste. G. Supplies O2 to the blood, which in turn delivers O2 to all parts of the body. H. Provides support and movement for the body. J. Produces and secretes hormones which regulate metabolism, growth, and development. 11. A class was studying human body systems. The students learned about a system that moved oxygen to the cells and contained structures that help the body fight infections. The class was studying the A. Muscular system, B. Digestive system, C. Circulatory system, D. Endocrine system. 12. Which cell organelle is most similar in function to an organism's nervous system? Organelle and function, body system, function. Nucleus contains genetic information and make decisions for cell. Mitochondria, energy production. Cytoplasm, substance allowing organelles to move throughout cells. Cell membrane, passage of materials in and out of the cell, protection. Body system, excretory, storage and removal of waste. Digestive, break down food and absorb nutrients for energy. Nervous, sense outside world and send signals throughout the body. Integumentary, provide protection from outside environment. Circulatory, transport materials. And here are your answer choices. F. Cytoplasm. G. Cell membrane. H. Nucleus. J. Mitochondria. 13. Scientists on a space shuttle mission studying plant growth would probably see that the plants on the space shuttle do not grow in the same direction and pattern as those on Earth. Scientists working in space would most likely be studying the effect of which of the following stimuli on plant growth? A. Gravity. B. Oxygen. C. Radiation. D. Temperature. 14. If the top portion of plants grow up, explain why a small tree on a hillside does not grow straight out from the hillside. F. The tree is growing toward water. G. The tree is resting on the hillside. H. The tree is leaning toward the top of the hill so rain won't wash it off. J. The tree's roots and trunk are growing in response to gravity. 15. What happens when a force acts on an object? A. The object moves in the direction of the force applied. B. The object moves away from the direction of the force applied. C. The object accelerates upward. D. The object does not move. 16. Hawk, snake, rat, coyote. Use the desert food web above to answer the following questions. How is this ecosystem most likely to be affected by a sudden decrease in the number of rats? F. The snake population will increase. G. There will be a decrease in the number of snakes, coyotes, and hawks. H. There will be an increase in the number of coyotes and hawks. 17. The food web below represents a desert ecosystem: hawks, snakes, coyotes, rats, sagebrush, cacti, ants, tarantulas. Which of the following organisms in the food web are producers? A. Cacti and sagebrush. B. Tarantulas and snakes. C. Snakes and rats. D. Hawks and coyotes. 18. The annual goal of the Preservation Middle School Environmental Club is to reduce the amount of solid waste it contributes to the landfill by collecting and composting food waste from the school cafeteria. Students then collect humus from the compost bins and add it to the planters in the school courtyard. This composting is a form of A. Respiration, G. Pollution, H. Recycling of matter, J. Fermentation of matter. 19. During the process of photosynthesis, A. Radiant energy is converted into chemical energy. B. Heat energy is transferred into potential energy. C. Radiant energy is changed into potential energy. D. Thermal energy is exchanged for kinetic energy. Hawk, sun, grass, grasshopper. In the diagram above, where is light energy converted to chemical energy? F. Sun, G. Grass, H. Grasshopper, J. Hawk. 21. A student wants to observe plant cells. Which instrument should the student use? A. Telescope, B. Microscope, C. A magnifying glass, D. Binoculars. 22. The chart shows the results of an experiment designed to study how fertilizer affects the tomato production of tomato plants. Plant A, plant B, plant C. Before fertilizer, after fertilizer. Which of the following statements is the best conclusion for this experiment? F. Fertilizer doubles tomato growth. G. Fertilizer increases tomato production. H. At best, fertilizer increased tomato production by 1 or 2 tomatoes. J. There's not enough data to support the use of fertilizer on tomato plants. 23. What evidence proves that no work is being done on an object? A. An object does not move from one point to another. B. An object moves from one point to another. C. An object has mass. D. An object has volume. 24. How much work is done if a force of 2 newtons is used to move a box 4 meters? 25. The diagram illustrates the relationship of 2 species living in a grassland biome. What is the best explanation of the influence of species A on species B? A. Species B is a predator of species A. B. Species A benefits from living in the same area as species B. C. Species A is unaffected by species B. D. Species B is a major food source of species A. Be sure you have recorded all of your answers on your answer document.